Alright, so in the last video we took a look at a bunch of different banner ad companies that you could use, apply to them, see who accepts you. Some of those banner ad companies, they're looking for a specific type of blog or website to post their ads on, so don't feel bad if you're getting rejected from some of these. Definitely look around, find out what works best for you. Once you have one of those, I would suggest using a plugin like this. Doesn't have to be this one, but this one works well. I've used this one before. It's called Quick AdSense, and what it does is allows you to put banner ads into different parts of your blog post very easily and without having to manually put them in every single article. So now they're not taking any of the money from your banner ads or anything like that. You just get this free download, you plug it into your website, very easy to install. And once you get into your blog post, here's kind of an example of what it's going to look like. You can switch over to text view. And what you're going to get is different places where you would place the ad itself. So maybe this is off in the widget, or it's at the beginning, middle, or end of the blog post. It's nice to have those show up in different areas so people aren't just getting inundated with ads at the very beginning, or maybe they don't wait till the very end. You can kind of mix and match in the middle. You can also just inject the code right wherever you want it. So maybe if there was a relevant banner ad that you saw that you were getting and you had an article that pertained to it, maybe you'd want to put that in that certain spot. So Quick AdSense is a great way to go. Again, take a look at some of the other plugins as well. You can just do a search for Google Ads or AdSense or ad placement, something like that within WordPress, and you're going to get to see where those go. Now, ads are not the only way that you can make money from your website, and that's what I want to take a look at, are some of the other options that you can do to make money from your website. This is a site called cj.com or commissionjunction.com. It's one of the bigger sites where different companies come to them and they look for people to do things like write articles about their product and then link to them. And what they do is they become kind of the middleman on this whole process, where maybe I wanted to do an article about, I don't know, dentists or contact lenses or something like that I thought would be relevant to my readers, and I could request to join their program, where if somebody clicks and actually purchases, now this is not just a click, this is actually clicking and then purchasing a product, they're going to track this information and I'm going to get a bigger commission on that. So let's go take a step back and think about the ads that we just talked about in the last video. AdSense, Chiquita, all those different companies, when you click on their ads, you're going to get anywhere from a penny to maybe a couple dollars for that one click. In the instance of a company like this, like Commission Junction here, you could get anywhere between $5 and $100, maybe more, maybe less, just depends on the company and the product itself. But you're going to get that kind of money as soon as somebody makes a purchase. So if you have a really good article really promoting something like, dentist or contact lenses, or again, there's tons and tons and tons of different companies in here, you're going to get paid a much bigger commission on it. So you can see over here in this right-hand column, they're going to show you the average 7-day estimated cost per click is 6.91 British pounds, I believe is what that is. I have to change this over to US dollars. Here's some in US dollars. So here's a case where on average people are getting about $2.40 for a lead on this one, whereas opposed to Got Junk is getting almost $70 per purchase. So again, somebody clicks on this link from your website, Commission Junction will track that information, and if somebody actually makes a purchase, you're going to get a big old check for almost 70 bucks right there. So here's another one, Ink Farm. Their average cost per payment that they're giving out is almost $120 commission. So a lot of different companies in here, a lot of good ones. All you have to do is come over to this area over here and you can search for things. So maybe if you have a blog about, I don't know, like yoga, we can see if there's any kind of relevant yoga. Oops, maybe I typed that in the wrong spot. Yoga, let's clear that one out. Okay, so here's a whole bunch on fitness. Guessing maybe some of these companies either sell yoga products, or maybe I'm just getting a bad filter here, but we can actually see, so it's 24-hour fitness, almost 30 bucks US dollars for every time somebody signs up through their website. So a lot of people do write articles specifically for these types of things, and they get good commission checks, 90 bucks, 17 bucks, 42 bucks. Again, this is not cost per click, this is cost per actual acquisition. So Now there are some other options up here as well. I do like, this one's one of my more favorite. Once you've built up a blog and you've got a decent following, you can actually show the amount of traffic that you're getting, different things like that. You can, on your website, offer to have paid guest posts. Now this is, you can do this different ways. You can have a PayPal plugin in here, or you can do basically kind of filter people out first and then ask for money later on. But you can have this guest post area on your website. Have a nice little contact form that explains what you're looking for on your blog, and somebody can submit an article that could be, it's probably going to have some kind of paid link in it. So you want to filter those out, make sure there's nothing too spammy in that link. But if the blog article fits your website and you feel like you like it, you can then suggest that you would like to make $10, $20, $30 off that article for you to post it as a sponsored article. So this is one way to do it, just kind of filtering people out like this. What people do, kind of on the flip side of it, is they will Google, in quotes, guest post or guest writer, something like that, and they're going to find websites that offer guest posting, and people will start to find your website, and they'll take a look at it and say, you know what, this kind of fits the content that I'm looking for. I would like to submit a guest post, and they will then pay you to do it, or you can offer it for free for a little while. But it's a good way to make money. I find it's a lot nicer than having ads on your website. It looks a little bit more natural. It could even look like you wrote the article, or just extra content for you to put on your website. Maybe you're a little bit slow in writing. Having paid guest posts is a nice way to keep your blog active. Now, if you are blogging about something, I don't know, maybe more creative, craft-like, different things like that, you can actually sell things on your WordPress website. Now this could be a whole separate training series, installing WooCommerce or an online shopping cart like this, but a lot of people do blog to then talk about products that they sell or make or whatever the case is. And you can make this shopping cart very easily by using this WooCommerce WordPress plugin. You simply install it on your website. It walks you through how to set it up and how to basically just plug in any kind of credit card information that you want, shipping information. It's very, very robust. It's a great, great plugin, and you can sell pretty much anything on your website. I've helped people set up these types of shopping carts for everything from cosmetics to comic books to regular books, or just things that they had written themselves. You can sell one item. You can sell, hundreds of items in here. So the alternative would be to go to something like a Shopify or actually a full paid website where you can sell your products on there. This is a better way where it's a little bit cheaper. You're not paying as much as like Shopify. You just pull this plugin right into your website, install it. It's very, very simple to do. A lot of people then will also blog and then link to external sources. So something like Etsy, where again, they're making different products. People are then selling them. They can maybe write about them and then link over to places like this where they have their own Etsy shopping cart site. This takes the hassle out of having to have that shopping cart on your website itself and having maybe like an SSL or other things that you're going to have to get. It really kind of eases the whole payment processing situation by using a website like Etsy. You could also link to eBay or Amazon or different places where you can sell products. So just remember that these guys take a small portion of whatever money you make, whereas if it's on your website, you get to keep all the profits. One of the last places I'm going to show you here is a company called Adsy. And this is a great, there's a lot of companies like this, but this is one that I use a lot of times where maybe I want to get relevant links to my website. So I would post an article of mine onto other people's websites, but you can also list your website on here so that people can then choose to purchase basically placements of links or articles on your website. It's very similar to the one we talked about before with the guest posting. This is just a marketplace that gets your information out there in front of other people, getting them to notice your website, and then purchasing that, again, that spot on your website to post an article. I really like this one a lot. Again, I kind of use it because it looks more natural. What you can do is come in here, you can look for websites, or people can look for websites that have a certain domain authority or page authority, the amount of links that they are looking for, the actual categories that they're looking for. So again, this kind of filters out a lot of people. People can say, oh, I'm looking for a website about food to be able to post my guest post on. And you can see, let's go ahead and just do one here. So we'll say we want this to be in English. We want to do category of food. I'm not too worried about the domain authority for this example. And I'll say search. And scroll down, you can see people are charging $114 to have a single article posted on their website. $171, $214. So, oh goodness, $714 to post an article on their website. So, off the grid news, wow. So there's a lot of opportunity to make a lot of good money on here once you have a decent website that's up and going. So you can see really what the big difference is here is the domain authority and the page authority. So the higher domain authority that you have, the more people will want to put content on your website, get their links on your website. You see this one's a big old 66 domain authority. That's awesome. So again, they're charging $714 to do that. A lot of good money to be made from blogging in here. So hopefully that kind of helps show you some different ways. It's very simple to make money from your website. Of course, you can always go more in depth, and there's a lot of other companies that you can use. I just wanted to touch on some of the big ones here, and hopefully that helps.